Listen up. When you're knee-deep in early-stage deals, it's not just about shaking hands and hoping for the best. The legal mess waiting to trip you up? It's real. And it's brutal. You can lose everything months before product market fit because of one dumb legal trap lurking under the surface. Founders and investors alike, if you don't lock this down, you're begging for disaster. First, the biggest headache no one talks about: bad cap tables. It sounds basic, but if your ownership structure isn't airtight, you're playing with fire. Promises made on napkins? Verbal agreements traded like baseball cards? Absolute poison. That equity needs to be crystal clear, every share accounted for, every option pool nailed down before you even think about signing term sheets. Otherwise, you'll have pissed off investors later, fights over dilution, and lawsuits from people who think they own a slice but don't. Don't ever shortcut this. Get a proper capitalization table early and update it religiously with every deal, every grant, every conversion. No exceptions. Next, beware the dreaded vague founder agreements. Everyone's eager to start building, sweating product, dreaming big, while ignoring who actually runs the show if shit hits the fan. What happens if a founder walks away? What if someone gets kicked out? Who controls decisions? If you have no clear rules here, you're signing up for an endless mess. Lock these down now with clear vesting schedules, milestones, and exit conditions. And don't just trust each other's word. Get that on paper, with proper counsel, so there's zero wiggle room. Founders walking out with chunks of the company, or control disputes dragging your startup underground. Seen it a dozen times. Prevent it at the source. Third, anti-dilution clauses murdered more deals than investors admit. You're desperate for funding. You say yes to everything. Suddenly, your shiny new investors get crushed as the company raises more seed rounds or converts notes. Know exactly how these clauses work. If investors demand heavy protection, negotiate hard or walk away. Because in the jungle, a bad anti-dilution setup turns your future rounds into a nightmare where new money doesn't flow, or your early backers feel burned, and that kills momentum faster than missed sales targets. Then there's the dirty secret that ruins startups all the time: unclear IP ownership. Founders bring code, ideas, tech. Sometimes they come from past jobs, freelancing gigs, open source. If the company doesn't own that work 100%, you're handing control, and potentially the whole business, to someone else on a silver platter. No startup can survive if their core IP suddenly becomes hostage to an old employer or a rogue contributor. Every line of code, every single piece of tech, needs to be locked down with clear assignment agreements before you show the product to anyone outside your team. No excuses. And legal jargon? Don't get caught paralyzed trying to decode every line on your own, or just trusting any lawyer willing to take the job. Your legal counsel has to be battle-tested in startups and early-stage investments, not just some fancy firm counting hours. Push them to explain everything in bullet points. If they can't say clearly what triggers dilution, what happens on exit, who owns what, you're wasting money and losing time. Hiring the right legal team is your first defense. Get it wrong, and you're stuck untangling spaghetti for years. Last but crucial, don't get blinded by one big check. Smart early-stage investing and founding is about building relationships with people who get this game. Investors who understand these traps. Founders who act before disaster hits. Who push for transparency, not smoke and mirrors. It's brutal out there, and every deal that blindsides you legally is a step off the cliff. So here's the order. Clean up your cap table now. Lock down founder agreements, zero doubt. Nail IP assignments so they're airtight. Know the anti-dilution rules like the back of your hand. And hire the killer legal team that speaks your language, not legalese. This is how you avoid becoming a horror story. No one owes you a second chance in this game. If that feels brutal, that's because it is. But success doesn't wait for your comfort zones. Get this right. Move fast, move sharp. Protect your stake and your future, or someone else will. Every nightmare deal in the startup world started exactly where you are right now, blind. Don't be that guy.